What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode number 17 of the Project Xtalk podcast, your weekly podcast all about Xbox. If you like that, please subscribe to the channel and drop us a like. We're so close to 100 subscribers. I think we're about 10 away, so subscribing to the channel really helps us out. For our audio listeners, make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast service and drop us a review. The reviews go a long way to spreading our visibility and growing the channel. My name's Kevin. I'm your host, and I'm joined as usual by Tom. And the two voices from the abyss this week, Aman and Garrett. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing great as well. Good to be back.
I'm doing good, guys. A lot of news this week. I'm excited.
There's a lot of news. Before we get into that, I just wanted to let everyone know that we dropped 2 videos this week on our YouTube channel. So if you're audio only, you're missing out on some more content from us. So make sure to go over there. Check out our Game Pass and Review series, which we've been throwing videos in about every week now. This week we dropped 2 videos for Game Pass and Review, and they're both regarding the medium. They're both with me and Tom because we beat the game last week. One is our non-spoiler review, and then one is our spoiler cast where we talk over the big points of the story and every plot twist. So go check those out if you finished the game, or if you haven't finished the game, check out the non-spoiler one. So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to get right into it because, as you said, we had a lot of news. Before the news, I want to know what you guys playing. And since Aman hasn't been here, I want to start with him.
All right. So on my Xbox, I just downloaded the Medium. I'm still, I think, on the first mission. I just played for like really short amount of time yesterday. And I started playing Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time on my PlayStation 4. That's a good game.
Okay. Tom, what you got going on?
I've been playing Hitman 3, which is a really fun game, by the way, if you have not played it. And Sea of Thieves. It's pretty much, that's always going to be my rotation at this point.
I've heard Hitman's good. I haven't pulled the trigger on getting it yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I like it.
It's a really short game. I guess that's the issue. Like, the replayability comes from just repeating the missions over and over again. But if you want it, you can beat it like in 4 hours.
Yeah. I'll keep thinking about it. Garrett, what you got going on?
I've just been donating all my time to Sea of Thieves. Like, yeah, I get last week I trashed the whole season pass thing. But like, what, we're 6 days in, and Tom, I'm up to 56 now.
Weren't you just 30 last night?
Yeah, I've been going hard. I found a few good crews, man. Like, it's been insane.
Have either of you checked out the 120 FPS?
No, I have not. I'm blown away by how nice it is with the 60.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and my TV isn't capable right now, I think. Well, my big one in the family room.
So Sea of Thieves podcast over here. But I've been playing Persona 5 Royal, grinding away on that. I'm 41 hours in now, so I made about 20 hours worth of progress. Loving
Great
it.
game, Persona 5.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
It takes about 20 hours to get good.
I don't know about that. I've liked this since the start.
Yeah, I thought it was good from the very beginning.
Yeah. There's a few characters I'm not so
I don't know.
hot on.
It was good at the beginning, but then like after the 20-hour point, I was hooked into that game. I was like hooked, playing it nonstop. So, like I have around like 120 hours in that game. A lot of time.
I just finished Futaba's Palace, so I'm 41 hours in, and I know Royal's got more features, so I'm gonna keep grinding away on that. I also started Control Ultimate Edition because it was on PS Plus this month. I know the base version's on Game Pass, but if you have PS Plus, just go grab the Ultimate Edition. I know we're Xbox show, but couldn't pass that up. And then on Xbox, I've been playing Deep Rock Galactic. I was looking for a multiplayer game to play with my friends, and Reddit recommended this one. I had never heard of it, and I'm really enjoying it. You play some dwarves. We've been getting 3-4 player co-op going into mines, killing some spiders, doing some missions. It's a lot of fun.
What do you think about leaving the asteroid part of the mission? Because I played that like in the beta a bit, and that's the one thing that I got lost in. It was like when everyone just run away, and the whole little robot starts like doing the alien crawl up the wall.
Oh, you mean
That's when I
after?
used
So after you complete the objective, then you call back in the drop pod?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like you just lose the thing, and there's like this green just strand going up and around. It's so hard to follow it at times.
Oh, I haven't had so I don't follow the robot. I just look at the little drop ship icon, me and my friends do. And I play the driller class, so I just basically drill through the wall until we get there, or drill through the floor. We find some creative ways, we got the grappling hook, we got the zip line. So I haven't had a problem with that. It's a lot of, sometimes it's fun and a little intense. We had a few close calls. We had one where we didn't make it to the ship, so I'm good with it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. You have to teach me then, because I haven't played since like the third week it came out.
Yeah, they might have made some updates. I know they added some new mission types that are really, really enjoyable. So I'm liking that. Gonna play more of that. But other than that, let's get into the news roundup for the week, because like I said, we've got I think 8 stories to go through. So I'm gonna start off with story number 1. And it's regarding Google Stadia. So Google Stadia has shut down its internal studios and changing business focus. I'm pulling from Stephen Totillo at Kotaku, who broke the news on Monday. Google Stadia, the game streaming platform that launched in late 2019, is shutting down its internal studios that were focusing on making first-party games and is now exclusively offering their technology to publishers for third-party games only. I want to ask you guys, are the streaming wars over before they even began?
I don't know. We still have Amazon in the game. They have some first party stuff still going on. Google Stadia is just right out the gate. They screwed up. You have to pay a subscription and then buy the games on top of that. I was like, what is that? No, I think it's unfortunate they're losing their first party studios, and they had some really good heads over there. I know they had like one of the lead developers from like Sony Santa Monica move over. So they could have definitely been working on something good, but would have anyone played it? I doubt it. It's Google Stadia. I feel like Google Stadia is being trashed all over the place, like every week.
Mm-hmm. So I know I was arguing with people on Reddit about this actually, because I was insisting that there's no player base for Google Stadia. So the writing's on the wall, essentially. They're shutting down their first party studios, which means they're not going to be publishing games. I believe they said they canceled projects that were past a certain release date in 2021. So they might have some first party games come out this year if they were further along in development. That remains to be seen. But in terms of the player base, the numbers I could find were from April last year, and it said the user base was about 1 million players, and that was after a Destiny 2 free weekend, which bumped it up like 100 plus K. So I just don't think there's a large player base for Stadia, and I think Google is taking the steps now to basically minimize losses. They might keep the player base they have, but I think they just want to license their technology out to third party to try to make some money back on this investment, which isn't working out.
What would you think if they like surprised us and just came out with a console? I feel like I honestly feel like the streaming stuff, if they went the Xbox route, I feel like streaming is good as like a supplement, not like the all be all. Like this is what you're gonna play on. Do you think something like that would have done well if they pushed that out?
Their console will come out and then it'll be discontinued after a year.
Yeah, dude. Like I don't know, man. They
That's
have
Google
such a
for you,
history of
right?
abandoning projects. Like
Mhm.
I mean, I knew Google Stadia was gonna go. I'm surprised it's still here. I thought it was gonna go sometime last year.
But then again, I'm still believing in their glasses, so.
So when Google initially announced Stadia, I remember thinking it was actually a good idea because streaming sounded like another promising feature in the gaming sphere. But then as you got closer to launch, you could just see that nothing was ready. It needed to be delayed probably another year or two at least to get the features they were talking about, to get the technology working. And from all accounts that I've heard, it works if you have good internet right now, which I think leads us back to the issue where is the infrastructure of the United States and other areas able to manage Google Stadia, and I'm not sure it is at the current moment with data caps.
Yeah, definitely. Not until like 5G is like actually global. The speeds on that thing is like crazy, by the way. I think that can be a game changer, even without like wired internet, if it's stable enough. But even then, like dedicated like hardware is just still so much better.
So I was saying, Google has said that there are 150 developers that were working on Stadia. They're going to try to rearrange them into other areas of the business, but I don't know if that will be successful. Like, they're game developers. They want to be making games, and if Google's no longer making games, what's the point in that?
Yeah, that's just they're just definitely gonna be layoffs. What are they gonna do? Like data analysis? I mean, they want to make games.
Do we think that we could see Google? They said they're going to license it out to third party. Do we think that we see them go to Ubisoft or other big developers and be like, do you want this exclusively for your platform? Do you want some sort of licensing deal? Do you want something along those lines?
I don't know, because if I remember correctly, like their whole little first pitch thing, they did have some amazing tech in their whole little like cloud gaming, right? So they probably could make their money back long term if they went like the whole game engine route and just gave out licenses for it and then just updated and made it better, because that could be its own thing and that'll let them finish off their projects and get something off the ground, because we all know Epic might have a successful game or two these days.
Now, do we think Sony might be interested in this technology?
I mean, they already invested in Gaikai way back, so honestly, I don't see them wanting to invest some more in another streaming platform when they already have one they can build up on their own.
Yeah, PS Now is their streaming service, right? Like, you stream games to your console.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, no one talks about it, so I can't imagine it's doing very well.
not really. I mean, I don't believe PS Now is available like on app stores besides like within the PS4 itself. So, I mean, if Google Stadia did partner with them a little bit, maybe they can be like, well, we can push this out to Android for you or something like that. Maybe that'll work.
Mm-hmm. That'd be an interesting partnership. Be able to play your older PlayStation titles on your PC, on your phone, on your tablet, wherever you go. Because PS Now, you need the PlayStation, which kind of defeats the purpose, especially if you have those older games. You can just play them natively on the PlayStation without the input lag and possibly, other issues that come with streaming. So
I don't know about that, man. I don't think
No?
Sony's interested in streaming at all.
Why?
I highly doubt. I don't know. I just don't see Sony doing anything like that. Sony's just what I think is Sony's just trying to focus on the console, which is actually doing really well right now. They don't want to change anything up. They just want to stick to their winning strategy, which has proven itself over the last few generations. So I don't think Sony's going to try changing things up.
Yeah, but on the other hand, like we were talking about 5G earlier in the show, well, the times they are a changing, and PlayStation I don't think would want to be left behind, because right now most of their streaming service is through Azure, right? That's how you pronounce it? With Microsoft.
Yeah.
So they would probably want to be getting out from under their thumb any way possible and partnering with Google to platform that. And who knows, that could be a good thing in the future. Get PlayStation games with their services. Could be nice. Could work.
Just open Internet Explorer on my Xbox and start streaming PlayStation games.
Right? This is just a long ball pitch, so I don't have to buy a PS5.
All right, Sony, we're trying to minimize your hardware sales here. Get us the streaming on Xbox. They are bringing something to Xbox, and that'll lead us to story number 2. MLB The Show is officially coming to Xbox consoles. Now, I'm not a baseball fan. I don't know if there's a huge demand. I know this series is, I think, popular on PlayStation, but it was a previously exclusive Sony developed series. MLB The Show is making its Xbox debut on April 20th with an Xbox One version coming for $59.99 and an Xbox Series X and S version coming for $69.99, supporting cross progression but no smart delivery, meaning if you buy the previous gen version, you will not get a next gen upgrade for free. Now, we knew for a while that the MLB wanted them to end their exclusivity agreement. They basically told them, put it on other platforms or you're done. So I've seen a lot of backlash regarding this announcement, and I don't know if you guys have. What's your initial reaction to the show coming to Xbox?
I couldn't give a care one way or another about the game, but I will admit I'm interested to see the difference performance as from Xbox to PlayStation, because that'll set the tone for the upcoming years on the Bethesda deal, right? Like it could sort of foreshadow. I want to see if there's that.
You mean you think you
performance
want to see
difference.
how? Yeah, you think they would intentionally make the Xbox version worse?
I think they wouldn't donate as much time to optimize it.
Okay. Tom, you were going to say something?
My issue with this one was that the Series X and PS5 versions are going to be $70. And
Right?
like, why? I looked
didn't
into
wanna
it. They
bring it
said
up.
they didn't say there were any substantial things. There was no new game modes or new engine. With the last game I paid $70 for, which was NBA 2K21, that's a lot of money. But at least compared to the last gen version, they're at least two separate games. They're not the same game. I can't see how you can justify that an extra $10. And I don't even like baseball like that. It's a really boring sport. What is it? 12 innings of just snooze fest. But
Amon, you're trying to get something in here.
Yeah, did you guys notice the PlayStation Studios logo at the bottom left right corner?
Yeah, it looks really strange on an Xbox.
I know, right? I mean, it could be what's happening with the Bethesda deal. That's how Microsoft had played games on PlayStation with Game Pass logo.
I would like to think that. I mean, the logos are fine. We've seen Xbox logos on PlayStation before with Minecraft, so that's not a new thing. We've never seen it the other way around, so it does look a little strange. I'm not sure that the developers will intentionally make the game run worse on Xbox. I'd like to think they have a little more integrity.
I think they're forced. I think they'll be forced to
they might have.
game run.
I don't
make
think
the
it's
game
going to
run
be forced. Like it's going to be very bureaucratic. There's just going to be some budget cuts, and there's going to be some restrictions.
Yeah, that is
And
forcing.
there
That
won't
is
be as
forcing
many
them, isn't it?
people in the Xbox office on the optimization side. Like on that end, it won't look that bad, but I think there will be some differences.
Imagine the Xbox version runs better. That would be hilarious.
That would be. I
But
wanted
then
to go
again,
back.
like it could, right? That's why I'm very interested. Like it could just be a
Mhm.
hey, make the Bethesda games look amazing, right? But even Xbox themselves said in their Bethesda side of it that Bethesda games will look, play, and feel best on Xbox.
I get what you're saying. I thought you were talking about Deathloop and Ghostwire. Is Ghostwire Tokyo the other one that they're making?
Oh no, those deals
Yeah.
will probably be done. Like, aren't those games in beta right now? So like,
I
those
imagine
games,
those are getting the finishing touches since
I
they're
don't
supposed to be
have.
coming out this year.
I don't think those
Yeah, I
games will
think
have too much
they're still coming
influence.
out this year, and we can see them on Game Pass like 2022 maybe.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back a second to what Tom brought up, the outrage about the pricing, because that's a sentiment I saw all over Twitter was Xbox fans upset that they have to pay $70 for the next gen version. And for those that don't know, PlayStation 5 games cost $70 in the United States. They upped basically across the board all their game prices by $10 for new releases. And Xbox did not do this, which I think is what is leading to this backlash. I personally, I'm in two minds. I don't want to pay $70 for a game. I'm not going to buy this game, so I don't have to. But also, it's made by Sony, so they get to dictate what's going on. If they said all PlayStation 5 games are $70, then I can understand it being $75, and they have every right to make it $70, not $75, $70. So I don't really get the outrage on that perspective.
No, yeah, that's like my thoughts were just really like there's no differential like factors between the two. That's my only real concern. I honestly, this generation, we're gonna get to $70 like slowly but surely. Like Ubisoft's committed to like $60 for at least like the prior year, but they're probably gonna go up. Activision's gonna go up. Everyone's gonna do it, and we're just gonna have to deal with it anyways.
Definitely,
Activision already go up?
EA is definitely going to take advantage of this. EA is not holding back. Probably by the end of this year, the next FIFA, next Madden, will be $70.
All right, so it doesn't seem that we're that outraged by it, as opposed to Twitter, which was throwing a fit. Well, in terms of other PlayStation games coming to Xbox, Judgment, the Yakuza spin-off game, is also coming to Xbox for the first time. This was announced by Sega. It was leaked a little before they announced it. I think someone found it, and then they just kind of put it out. But Judgment will be remastered for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X on April 23rd. The version will include refined visuals, 60 frames per second, and improved load times, plus all the DLC. There is no free upgrade from PS4 to PS5, and obviously there's no free upgrade because an Xbox One version does not exist, and the game will be $40. Do you guys have any interest in Judgment?
No, but Sega's coming.
I'm interested in the game.
I mean Microsoft is acquiring Sega, so yeah, it was inevitable.
It's a stretch. We'll see if that ever happens.
I don't know, man. I think the WB one is more tangible, and I would be excited for that. I was actually talking about that with Tom earlier. I want WB to come over for not even the IPs, but the Nemesis system.
WB Games is going to be a good get for Microsoft, and they're probably going to be cheaper than Bethesda. They should cost around $5 billion to the max, and especially if they're not going to get the Batman IP, they should be less than $5 billion.
I love
bringing us back to Judgment.
Sorry.
It looks good. I like that it's based in a Yakuza world, but the fact that you're not a Yakuza anymore, now you're a cop. And I like that. I like the fact that he's a detective. It looks interesting. I wanted it on the PS4 a while ago. I just never pulled the trigger. But now that it's coming to the Series X, I mean, for sure, I'll pick it up with an optimized 60 FPS for sure.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it comes to Game Pass.
Go on.
I wouldn't be surprised. All the Yakuza games are just coming on there. This one, it would make full sense to me.
I'm looking forward to this game. I'm not a big fan of the combat, as you brought it up earlier, Kevin. I think I did prefer the turn-based combat they use in Yakuza Like a Dragon much more, and the old brawler type combat. I wasn't a big fan of that. Good game. Looking forward to it.
All right, we'll see if it comes to Game Pass, but we'll move on to story number 3. The Medium is already sold enough to recoup development and marketing costs. This was officially confirmed in a press release by Bloober Team. They confirmed that the Medium's already sold enough to recoup all of the development and marketing costs. The rumored cost of the project is around $8.5 million from what I could find online, but considering the game is on Game Pass, this is quite impressive. What are you guys' thoughts about this? Did you expect the Medium to sell this well?
I honestly thought most people would just go to Game Pass route. Exactly. So I'm actually surprised.
Yeah. But then again, that could just be an indicator of how much those Game Pass people are paying.
Good for the studio as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you bring up a good point, Garrett. We don't know if this is money that Microsoft paid them to be like, hey, get it exclusive, get it on Game Pass, and that's how they made this all back, or if this is actual sales numbers, like people buying the game because they wanted to support the game.
I doubt it's actual sales numbers, because I'm pretty sure 90% of the people went the Game Pass route, and 90%, and those are the only people who are, I think, interested in the Medium.
Ooh.
Yeah, what I'm more curious at this point is, like, when is Microsoft going to drop their, like, hey, we released the Medium last month. We rose Game Pass by X amount. That's what I want to see. Like, how big of an impact did this game have for Microsoft with Game Pass sales, or just like driving it up with like the player base? I really want to see that.
I'd be surprised if the medium in itself contributed much to people getting Game Pass. I can understand if you have a new console because it's only on the new consoles and you for some reason didn't have Game Pass, you want to check out the first exclusive and you get in at that $1. I could see that potentially boosting it a little bit, but I can't see it in the like driving it like a crazy amount just because it is a AA game from a studio that is quite niche in their games that have mixed reception. And I loved it. you know I loved it.
We both did. We both loved it.
Garrett, I know you started it. How far did you get?
I got up to like basically where the video was with the little girl with the mask on, and it was just like it reminded me of Call of the Sea, man. I just don't like going around and looking for like little detective hints, going around and like they had a cool atmosphere. I did not like the fixed camera. It really took me out of the whole horror aspect of the game because you sort of like have to feel around, right? So it creates like this paradox where it looks really nice and cool and everything, then all of a sudden like main characters janking up close to the wrong side of the wall and it's glitching out. And it's just was not a good overall experience for me.
Okay, that's fair. Sounds like you're not a fan of.
Have you ever played Resident Evil 2, Garrett?
Yeah, like I played that. I played like Dino Crisis, if anyone else remembers that one.
Yeah.
But like that was sort of like a thing for back in the day. Like I haven't touched those kinds of games since like Dino Crisis, right? So not for like 10, 15 years. But yeah, no, it was just did not like the experience at all.
Certainly contrasting with mine and Tom's opinions. If you want to check out our review, it's on the channel, as I mentioned. But there's Garrett's little review. I wish you had gotten to the monster. I wish you had gotten to that sequence.
I'll go, like,
monster.
I still have it on the console. I will put more time into it, but it's just at the time, it was like that or Sea of Thieves. And I really like sinking other people's ships in Sea of Thieves. And you could ask Tom, we're really proficient at it.
That's fair. I mean, I started it and beat it in one day, so it certainly grabbed me. But good job for Bloober team. Congrats on making all their money back, and we'll see what happens with the medium and any other IP going forward. We'll move on to story number 4, and this comes from Eddie Makuk. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name at GameSpot. Or you can check out the Halo blog post itself. But all Halo Infinite launch content is currently finished and playable. The development team is now working on bug fixing. So this was confirmed by Quinn Del Hoyo in the 343 update, where he called his team the Sandbox team. They said they're busy fixing bugs, polishing the game. More newsworthy thing that he confirmed, in my opinion, is that all the launch content is currently in the game playable, and that they're working on getting it from 90% ready to ship to 100%, and that we will have a pre-release beta test. You guys, I know we are all excited for Halo, but it seems like they're coming along nicely. I'm feeling pretty confident that's coming out this year.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, man.
Major testing beforehand, like first mission possible beta. I was thinking, I'll go as far as that.
I don't know. I'm still doubting that game's gonna come out this year.
Really?
Why?
They're gonna release
Early
like another
2022.
video, and we all find one
just
frame
finished
trapped
it.
in that.
Like,
It's-
that has to
to
be
the
a couple
drum
months
board.
on the road now.
No, it's fall 2021, and fall 2021 is a hop, jump, and a skip away from early 2022. You know, so I don't know. I hear that they are probably going through a lot of development help. So I don't know.
I'm feeling confident. I feel like Amon is a strictly devil's advocate right now. Just got to counterpoint all my positivity. But just a little update. You can check the full blog post. They're going to keep working on that. Story number 5, in more positive news, the EU, or the European Union, for those of you who don't know, is going to give their ruling on the Zenimax acquisition by March 5th. This was reported by Reuters. The official deadline for ruling for the Microsoft deal was announced to be March 5th, so they will go through all their antitrust regulations over there and make sure it's appropriate before they approve it. But process is starting. Looks like we're going to close that deal soon. I don't expect any issues from every source I've read. It seems like a pretty easy in and out type thing.
How long will it take before, after March 5th? You said, right? March 5th?
March 5th is the deadline for the EU. And from what I could find, I think the US, I think everyone expects it to be done in the spring.
Oh, okay.
So only probably a few more months after that.
So yeah, I think the Bethesda deal is going to close soon. Did you guys notice when this EU thing was going on? Microsoft was it said Microsoft acquiring 18 studios, and Bethesda is only around 12, I would say.
Yeah. So Tom,
WB is around 6.
So Tom Warren over at The Verge commented on this, and the number 18 refers to the location of the studios because, as we know, certain studios, like there's a Austin and France for different locations. So it's not different studios. It's just the different locations of said studios worldwide. So Microsoft they're not throwing in some secret hints that they've secretly in the background acquired more studios. But I did see that, and I was wondering if anyone else was going to bring that up.
Yeah, but we got to look for them, man. Phil Spencer had the Series S, had the Indiana Jones thing right in the back. We have to be looking. They want to tell us. Just like how they're doing Sega-themed controllers. But, that's just me.
I don't know. Not in an official document, though, Not in an official, ruling.
If they come out with an orange and not yellow controller, we'll all know the truth. Just saying.
Not this.
I mean, we already have the red controller, so Knuckles is coming. So we're getting Sega one for sure. We already got the blue and red.
For sure.
Yeah, that's basically confirmed at this point. I'll just call up Phil, and he'll give me all the details. We can break it here. Yeah, I can't wait to see Sonic as the mascot for Xbox. But
that would be interesting. That would be weird and interesting.
Master Chief and Sonic together at last.
Oh, don't forget the orange
if they did not do an SSD as fast as Sonic commercial, I would be floored.
I can't. I'm not going into this Tales of Yellow.
SSD as fast as Sonic commercial.
Tales of Orange. We had the vote.
That would be epic.
That might be a little false advertisement if they try to claim such things. I'm not sure you can get away with that. But in other studio news, story number 6, the initiative's design director, Drew Murray, has left the project. Announced on his official Twitter, Drew Murray has announced that after 2 years, he's saying goodbye to the team as his life outside of work needs more attention and headspace than he's been able to give lately. So he's stepping down from his role. Drew, known for his work on Sunset Overdrive, Ratchet & Clank, and Resistance, will surely be missed, but we'd like to wish him all the best. Phil Spencer and everyone else on the team commented on this. From everything I could see, it seems like he's had some death in the family and needs more time to take personal space to figure all that out. So I personally don't think this is anything related to the initiative or Perfect Dark. I want to know if you guys saw anything different.
Not at all. I'll just break the ice here. I think family loss, man. Yeah. He could go take care of his stuff. Isn't there enough talent at the initiative?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah. And who knows? Might not be forever. Come back in a year or two.
That's true. Perfect Dark is going to take a while to develop. So we'll move on from that sad story to story number 7. Microsoft is planning special gaming, cloud, and Windows events in the coming months. This is from Tom Warren at The Verge. Microsoft has announced digital events focusing on different areas of their business, starting with an event this week focusing on Windows. These digital events could be the way we get updates regarding Xbox in the future. I know they actually did their event today. They announced some new, I forget what it was called, but it integrates into Microsoft Teams. But it just seems like they're going the Nintendo Direct route with digital events for the near future. And personally, I'd be completely fine if that's how they kept them going forward, because I love Nintendo Directs. They're like a event to get excited for, like what's going to happen. Would you guys be bummed if they only did digital events for Xbox going forward?
I'm not gonna go there in person anyways, so it's gonna be digital regardless for me. No,
Yeah,
for
for
I
the
don't mind digital
foreseeable
events either.
future.
So
They're just so much easier to watch, you know.
Mhm.
I like them.
What were you saying, Garrett?
Oh no, for the foreseeable future, it'll probably be that way, right? For everybody. I'm just glad that they're getting ahead of it instead of trying to do, we're gonna open up E3 again next year. So
Yeah. I think
yeah.
more of the story is that if these are received well, that they could just do away with those types of conferences. Maybe they don't, PlayStation and Nintendo don't go to E3 anymore. They just have their own little digital events, or sometimes PlayStation does their own in-person events, but that seems very infrequent. So I was more getting at is, what if Microsoft came out and was like, we're not doing those big events anymore. We're not going to Gamescom. We're not going to E3, and just stuck with these digital events.
I'll be fine with it as long as it's consistent.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be fine with that. Like, come on, you gotta go to E3 and Gamescom. How can you miss that? You gotta, like, if these small events show what some of your smaller studios are doing, and they show the Game Pass lineup for the exciting Game Pass announcements and stuff there, third-party exclusives and all that. But E3 and Gamescom, this is where you like reveal like Initiative's next game, Compulsion's next game, and all that.
Yeah, but they could just do a bigger package once a year, right? Like we sort of established that as the week of E3 with everybody. Like PlayStation, even, and Nintendo, when they weren't in the show, they still were releasing their content for the year, because that's the one gamers know that the big trailers are coming at that time, right? So I could still see them having like a week where they synchronize up, but yeah, I'm okay with the no person stuff, just so long as we get like a compromise with what Amon wanted, bigger show once or twice a year.
Another point to that is, like, will their content, like with the new game trailers and stuff, will it reach as much of an audience it would have reached at E3 at their smaller shows, which they might have multiple, or a big show they might have each year?
I mean, maybe not, but there's still like the VGAs is still big, and that's on TV. I think that's really like the only real big show you really need in terms of viewership. The conferences were nice, but like Kevin said, Sony's already dropped out, and Nintendo. I mean, I don't think it's something that's really needed anymore.
Yeah, I think I loved E3. I think it's kind of died. Especially, I mean, last year they didn't have it at all. Everyone's dropping out, and I'm not even sure who we have left with Microsoft acquiring Bethesda. I don't think they're going to give Bethesda their own conference like they used to. So that's cutting time out of E3 already. The only thing I want is, if we go to these all digital events, I think it needs to be better organized. I know last year Jeff Keighley did their summer of gaming, and that was terrible. Like, there were events scattered all throughout the summer. You never knew what was going on or what was part of it, what wasn't. So I'd be okay with him taking the reins and being like, this is the 1 to 2 week period that we're going to have constant content. If you want to be a part of it, this is what we're doing. You can do your digital event here. I'd be perfectly fine with that going forward. I don't really think we need these big in-person events. It doesn't really affect us because we're not the ones going. I mean, some gamers have taken trips to E3, but it's more that's just more for like press, media. They're the ones in the audience. They're the ones going on the floor doing their previews, but they can do all that specifically with digital events too. So I don't really think it's needed, and it would cut down costs because those shows are very expensive.
I think the only thing you really miss out on in those circumstances is like you said, the press goes there. So generally they set up a lot of interviews with like multiple developers during that time frame. So we get a lot of information. So the information we get might be more limited, or it'll just come out at a slower pace, since they really can't just keep doing these rapid fire interviews with like all the developers that are already there.
That's a fair point. I mean, I think usually we always see press releases after the conferences anyway, because they don't always tell us everything in the conference. There's always those press releases that IGN somehow has access to instantaneously. I mean, someone's sitting there ready to send these emails. But I think games media tends to get the stuff ahead of time, and then they just have it ready to go. Someone talk.
Yeah. I thought Tom was countering. Are you still there, Tom?
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh.
I had nothing to counter.
Oh, yeah. All right. I thought he dropped for a second.
Oh. Okay. Well, we'll just cut it after I finish talking, and then we'll pick up.
Yeah. No
All right.
awkward pause.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. No awkward pause. Story number 8, we have just the Game Pass roundup. So here are the upcoming games coming to Game Pass. We got Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is now on xCloud. Got Jurassic World Evolution, which is on Cloud and Xbox. We got Stealth Inc. 2, which is on Cloud and Xbox. Got Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age on Xbox and PC. We have Project Winter on Cloud, Xbox, and PC. We got The Falconeer on Cloud, Xbox, and PC. And we have Ghost of a Tale on PC. Personally, for me, my picks that I'm going to be checking out is Project Winter, because it's similar to Among Us from what I've been told. I'm going to check out The Falconeer. It was a launch game for the Series X, and from all accounts is impressive graphically. I don't think it's a good game from all the reviews I've read, but I want to check out the graphics on that. And then I was interested in Ghost of a Tale, which is an action-adventure RPG where you play as like a mouse. And there was actually, I was going to play it on my PC, but there's actually a trial on the Series X that you can play an hour for free. So I played an hour yesterday, and tell you what, I did not enjoy that game. So I'm not going to check that game out. I was pretty bummed because the mouse is cute, and I love games where you're little cute animals. Do you guys have any picks that you're going to check out from that list?
I'm definitely going to join you in Project Winter, but a tip for the people playing Jurassic World Evolution. Did you guys ever play that?
No.
I played it in the very beginning when it wasn't good, but I heard they fixed it like later on.
Yeah, they actually did a lot of work to it, to like behavior and everything. But I was going to say, save on your meat feeders. Don't make them. Just feed your good dinosaurs, smaller ones. Always improve their rating, and people like a spectacle. Great revenue. Skip it. That's my one tip for the game.
Out of the games in there, I'm probably most interested in Jurassic World Evolution. As a kid, I used to play on mobile. There was a Jurassic Park game. I used to play that, so I might enjoy this one.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely just Falconeer. And right when we get off of this podcast, I'm gonna set up a group for Project Winter.
Great. I'm gonna.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat dinner real quick, and then I want to definitely play that. I think I got some friends if we want to get I think it's 8 men, so I think we can almost get a full lobby. So that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, let's get that going. That does it for all the stories today. We only have one rumor, and this was sent to us by Aman, who scoured it, but it comes from Brad Sams. King Ragnar has said it, and we also heard ACG on Defining Duke this week say that he knows of a gaming company set to release a game this year that is not in the Xbox wheelhouse of games, but Xbox are acquiring them. Now, we've obviously no idea who the studio is, but if you guys had to pick an IP that you want, what would it be?
That's such a hard one. Let's get Dragon Age. Let's get Dragon Age as an IP. Let's just get BioWare completely. We'll take that from
BioWare.
And there you go. Well, Microsoft will fix them
up,
but
we'll have
a good game.
Choices.
So did ACG character from ACG say that a game coming out this year, and Xbox is going to acquire that studio?
That's what I listened to Defining Duke, and then I saw someone clip out the video on Twitter where they said that's what he says, and I remember him discussing it. He doesn't say the studio. There's a lot. I remember in Defining Duke this week there was a lot of him refusing to name studios at two specific parts where he's like, I have friends that work over there, so I'm not gonna say. I'm not sure. I can't remember if he actually uses the word acquire them or just that Xbox is working with them. I'd have to go back and listen. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I was more leaning that these two rumors could be related to each other because it seems very interesting that multiple people are reporting rumors of Xbox acquiring a certain IP and game studio this year.
I think IP. I think Konami. That would be interesting. They could acquire Konami's IP since they're not using it. Or PlayStation could acquire them. I wouldn't mind either way. I would be somebody should acquire them because I miss Metal Gear Solid. I miss Castlevania.
I miss
I
Yu-Gi-Oh.
don't know, man. If they're saying IP, I'd say like Lord of the Rings franchises.
Ooh,
Boom, done.
that would be good.
WB.
But again, WB inside WB again.
I think Konami would be a good one actually. Like
It's
if they
not
can get Hideo Kojima right back into it, get him right in full swing for Metal Gear, that'd be sick.
Kohima Productions and
get a new
Konami.
Yu-Gi-Oh game.
Get a new Yu-Gi-Oh game.
They should just get
Like
Konami
over
and
9,000.
Kohima Productions. That would be insane. Konami's IP and Kohima Production as a studio.
I know Konami just restructured their gaming division, and everyone thought they were closing it down, which wasn't true. That rumor was flying off on Twitter. But Konami, it doesn't do anything for me personally, but it wouldn't be the worst shout in the world. Like besides the Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't. Hot take. I don't care about Metal Gear Solid. I don't care about Kojima.
Yeah, no.
I don't care about anything he does.
Oh God!
I don't give any crap.
The internet
about
hates
that,
you
man.
now.
That's
That's
fine.
okay.
Listen,
Come on,
I think I have
You
a
and
hot
your
take
hot
every
takes.
2 weeks here. Yeah, hot take every 2 weeks.
Every week.
Yeah,
What do you
I
mean
will
every 2
double
weeks?
down
Every
on
week.
Kevin's sentiment. That guy is mainly known for the inventor of like the stealth detection cone. Am I wrong? Like that's the big thing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like-
It was more the production standards that he had for like
Okay,
he went for
I'm
movie
not a big
quality
fan of
games
Kojima.
before it was even
Okay, I
a
would
thing.
say I'm not a big fan of Kohima, but Metal Gear Solid. Come on, that game is amazing.
Nah, bro.
Maybe
No.
they could acquire Kohima and have him make a Splinter Cell game.
Now you're talking my language. Okay, like that sounds great, but
Chaos Theory 2.
that sounds even better. But Metal Gear Solid doesn't do anything for me. It's like a movie with all right gameplay. Death Stranding sucks.
Okay, yeah, that's
That
kind of sucks.
that game,
That's
What,
a
you don't like
lot.
being a delivery boy in a very lonely world?
no, that game's garbage. And everyone can hate me if they disagree with me, but he just has a lot of connections in the world, and everyone loves him. Like I get from a cinematic standpoint, he's great, but Konami wouldn't do anything for me. I'd honestly be most excited if they brought back some Yu-Gi-Oh IP that wasn't just gotcha
What about
games.
Castlevania?
I don't care about Castlevania either. They're too hard.
Yeah, he already said he just cares about Yu-Gi-Oh. That's all.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Give me Yu-Gi-Oh. Listen, there was Yu-Gi-Oh! The Forbidden Kingdom on the GameCube. Okay, best Yu-Gi-Oh game of all time. Get it? Bring it to the. I've just poured it. I'll play it again. I don't care. But like, no, I don't care about Castlevania. I don't Metroidvania type games like that. No, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with that stuff.
Well, Control is technically a Metroidvania game, and you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was 3D though. I really don't like 2D type games. Is the problem? I think that's really where 2D platformers compared to 3D platformers win. 2D side scrollers, it's the 2D aspect. But okay, so Konami, I guess, and their IPs is what we're going with.
What about Silent Hill? They could acquire Bloober and have them make Silent Hill.
I like their original stuff though. Like I'm not a fan of taking.
I really liked Blair Witch. Did
I'm
you
not
guys
a
like
fan
it?
of. I didn't play Blair Witch.
I think they should leave
I like
Silent
it.
Hill alone and not give it a Bloober Team. Personally, Bloober Team's games aren't really scary. It's
Yep.
either like I'm immune to scary games and scary movies, and that just might be me.
No.
Silent Hill games were scary back in the day, so maybe keep it like to the original.
No, man,
guys.
it's a fixed camera. Saying it now.
It's not.
Oh,
Dude,
maybe
Resident
it's
Evil
fun.
2 scared me when I was a kid, and it had a fixed camera.
Yeah,
I'm
when
with
we
Tom.
were kids. But now
No.
that we're older, it takes you out of it. Like
I
that's why
still
I'm
get
like
scared.
so much more interested in the Resident Evil thing. Like it's just that you're first person. Like that's it. That's all. Just that you're more interactive, right?
I still can't play Resident Evil 4 or any like I can't do it. I can't play those old horror games. Bloober Team makes a specific type of horror. It's like psychological, it's atmosphere. It's not actual like scary games. Silent Hill and Resident Evil scare me. I cannot play those games.
So while we're on the topic of Resident Evil, Microsoft could be acquiring Capcom since they're releasing a game this year. That's what it could be. Monster Hunter, Resident Evil.
They're releasing a lot.
Street
They got
Fighter.
a decent IP. Street Fighter,
Oh.
yeah.
I think
Dude.
Capcom's probably too big to buy.
I think they're smaller than Bethesda, aren't they?
Really?
I
don't
think they
know.
would be smaller than
For sure.
Bethesda, but like, are they willing to sell? I feel like they're doing just fine.
Are
I
they?
think Bethesda
Did
was
they
like,
just have, like-
76. They're doing
Did
fine.
they just? Yeah, no. Did like Capcom just have some hacking thing? Most of their stuff got leaked. Yeah, a bunch of their upcoming games.
We covered it.
Yeah, we covered it. So yeah,
We did,
I mean, I don't think. Oh, or maybe CD Projekt Red could be acquired. I wouldn't want that.
I don't even want them.
I don't want them, but I mean, under Microsoft, they might be able to do some good stuff. They might.
Yeah, maybe like
I'm just saying.
maybe it'll like have one less bug that is not game breaking.
And then fix it with a patch that introduces another game breaking bug.
Then to pull it off Game Pass.
Capcom's worth $3.4 billion. So
Yeah.
I mean, but you have to pay more than what they're worth.
Yeah, definitely. So around $5 billion, you can say.
Yeah, so it's not. I mean, I guess it's just the type of games I like. Like, I like Bethesda games. I don't like all their games. Like I've mentioned before, I don't care about Fallout. I like the Elder Scrolls. I don't care about Fallout. But Capcom is much more in my wheelhouse of games that I do like.
Oh, what about Bandai Namco? Since they're
Yes.
getting out Scarlet Nexus this year,
Please.
Scarlet Nexus, they
Dream.
could be a potential acquisition.
We mentioned that before. That's my dream acquisition.
That
Yeah.
would be good. And then they get like the best fighting game ever, Tekken.
Second best fighting game ever.
Well, no. Best 3D fighter, period. There you go. Period.
That's a brave
Smash
man.
Brothers exists. As someone that
I
plays
I don't like
think
Smash,
Smash Bros.
I think we
Okay, I
have
like
everyone from like most different popular
Smash is a
genres.
2D plane, so we can.
But it's-
That's a
Yeah,
it's
I
separate.
don't like Smash. That
but
much.
it's 3D. It's a 3D
Okay.
platform fighter. I play Smash competitively, all right? So you're not going to tell me that you're not going to convince
Challenge you to a match this weekend
You're
to
wasting
show
your
you that I'm
time.
better. I'll
Bro,
beat you
we'll
with
play
Kirby.
right,
Buddy,
play right now.
I'm gonna watch. Pause this video.
hold off on Project Winner. I'm going to fire up my Switch, and I will put you in your place. I'm serious. But
Yeah, I don't like Smash. Not a good game.
Now that's a stretch. I didn't say it was the best in the game for sure, but it's definitely not a bad game. It's a really fun game.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's just not the best fighting game I've played. Like,
best-selling
So-
fighting game of all time.
Kevin, what did you do to piss these two off today?
I have no idea. It's because I come firing out with hot takes like Metal Gear Solid sucks.
Yeah, you deserve
And,
it, man.
I say these
Smash
things.
Bros sucks.
I say these things like Tails is yellow, which is factually correct, and you guys attack me. All right.
Yeah, it was us and our little internet following. Sorry.
I cannot lie. I'm not going into it. I think this is out of control, and I think this is a good point
Yes,
to
yes.
end the
Good point to
podcast.
end it.
So, good
Mhm.
point to end it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments on Twitter. Join the Discord. We're trying to build our community up, so everything helps. Like I said, reviews, likes, subscriptions. Again, I'm Kevin. You can find me at the Muffin Mon on Twitter and Xbox. And where can they find you, Tom?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Chronicle Tom.
Aman?
You guys can find me at AmonM05 on Twitter, and Mike, that's my gamer tag, and PSN as well.
And Garrett?
Way1G on Xbox and Twitter.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye.